Hi, I'm Jason Horsch, owner of Xanadu Gallery in Scottsdale and Pine Top, Arizona, and this is Ask a Gallery Owner. Today's question comes from Darryl in Utah. It's a short one. He asks, are there certain sizes you'd recommend to offer galleries that are better to ship in reference to cost, arriving safely, etc.? Yes, a great pragmatic question and certainly you could think about this not only in terms of your relationships with galleries, but if you're selling online directly to clients. At some point, you're going to have to deal with shipping, and hopefully, as your popularity increases and as the demand for your work increases, you're going to be dealing more and more with shipping. And I suggest that at some point, every artist is going to have to work through the logistics of getting art from point A to point B and figure out some systems for shipping their art, whether that be they themselves becoming packers and shippers, or finding a resource locally that can help you with those logistics. It is certainly worth thinking about the size and scale of your work and the dimensions, the height to width ratio and thickness and all those kind of things as you're thinking about the economics of shipping and safety. I work with a variety of artists who work in a wide range of sizes, many of them shipping work to me. And I think I would start by saying that this should not be our primary concern when it comes to selecting the scale of artwork. You should be working toward using canvases or paper or whatever your medium is that is at a scale and dimensions that are going to best allow you to express your artistic vision. And we can work through any logistics after that to figure out how to get the artwork safely and economically to galleries or to collectors. Having said that, however, if you, if your artistic vision has some flexibility in terms of size and scale, and as you ramp up production and are putting out more artwork and kind of thinking about systematizing your process for working and for interacting with galleries and collectors, it does make sense to consider, are there more efficient sizes that I could be using that allow me to express my artistic vision, but would also afford me some economies when it comes to shipping? And so certainly thinking about size would be a factor. The larger artwork gets, the more complex and expensive the shipping can become. Of course, to counterbalance that, you'll hopefully also be able to realize higher price points for that work. But as you are able to do works that are moderately sized or smaller sized, you might be able to get some advantages in shipping that will make your art business more profitable. So it's worth thinking about these factors. I would suggest that no matter what sizes you're working in, if you think about streamlining the range of sizes that you're working in, or the variety of sizes, I should say, that you're working in, so that you have fewer disparate sizes. It is far more economical to pack 3 or 4 30 by 30 inch canvases into one thick box and ship them all together than it is to ship 4 different sized artworks to a gallery. Or, you could think of it as maybe I have 2 30 by 40s and 2 30 by 30s. But if I can if I can create series of work that are similarly sized and combine packaging, that can be a huge savings if you're not having to ship each piece of artwork individually. As you get into shipping, it is both the size and the weight, but it's also the number of pieces in a shipment that will come into play. You're also going to realize significant savings in packaging costs if you can combine pieces together in a shipment. So that's going to be one important factor. The other advantage of working in regular sizes is that you can then order packaging supplies in bulk, and that is going to help you save, and it's also going to make the packaging process simpler if you're doing the same kinds of things over and over again. So In some ways, what I might be suggesting here is that we try and be as systematic and thoughtful about logistics in handling artwork as we can be, which then hopefully allows us to have more time and resources available to be less rigid and systematic in the more important part of your business, which is your creative practice. Just anything that we can do to streamline and systematize is going to help free you up to do that. The other thing I mentioned, and I've already alluded to it, is that if you have a local resource, a business or an individual who does shipping as their business, it is often going to make far more sense for you to hand off your shipping to that business or individual and free yourself from the work that's involved. Shipping is a little bit complicated. Packaging is complicated. And so there's going to be a learning curve, an ongoing learning curve to preparing artwork for shipment. And if you can find someone who has already been through that learning curve and has experience, it's going to save you a lot of pain and heartache. I have also found that it's actually often more economical to have someone else package and ship it because they are ordering shipping supplies in bulk that you can never achieve. They're getting economies of scale there. Their shipping account probably, if they ship with significant volume, they are often going to get better freight rates than you would ever possibly get. And so, yes, they still need to have some profitability in their business, and there's going to be some markup that they're going to charge you. But often, the difference between what they're going to charge you to ship it and what it's going to cost you in materials and your time to ship artwork, it just makes a whole lot of sense to hand that off and stay focused on creating the artwork. Now, having said that, I understand, especially early in your career, sometimes you have more time than you have financial resources. And so it does make sense to work to understand the shipping process. And any shipping that you do on your own is going to make you more informed as you're working with a shipper. But boy, the sooner we can hand that off, the better. I'm going to include a link with this video to a blog post I did on some of the ins and outs of shipping artwork that can serve as a resource for you. But kind of going back to that original question from Darryl, I would definitely think about it and just work toward figuring out what makes the most sense with your work. Thank you so much for joining me for this Ask a Gallery Owner session. Be sure and subscribe to my newsletter to get notifications on future videos. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments or email me directly, and I'll try and answer it in one of our future sessions. Thank you for joining me.